You're on Short Final, Ireland's aviation podcast from Squawk 7000. Here's Mark Dwyer and Michael Cummin.
Hello and welcome to episode 44. On this week's Short Final, Turkish Airlines increases services on its Dublin route, Ryanair brings forward the opening of its Zagreb base, and another unusual visitor for Knock Airport.
Turkish Airlines has announced that it will increase its services on the Istanbul to Dublin route to 10 per week from the 14th of June. The airline has continued to operate the route to Dublin throughout the pandemic, mostly carrying cargo, and have a dedicated cargo-only flight as well as their passenger services. They will be operating a daily service, including 2 services on Sundays, Mondays and Tuesdays. Turkish will also commence a new service from Antalya to Dublin starting on the 20th of June. Like most other airlines, Turkish have suffered a dramatic fall in traffic numbers but continue to operate a skeleton service on most routes. On Tuesday the 11th of May, the aircraft flew just 448 flights, down 62% on the same day in 2019. This fall wasn't as significant as some of the other larger European airlines, with the likes of Air France down 70%, KLM down 71%, Lufthansa down 81%, SAS down 82% and Ryanair down 89%.
Another troop rotation with Irish troops took place last Monday from Dublin Airport to Beirut in Lebanon using a United Nations chartered Boeing 767. The aircraft was wearing the United Nations colours and was operated by Ethiopian Airlines. It departed early on the morning of the 10th of May with members of the 118th Battalion for the UN peacekeeping tour under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Conor Bates. The aircraft returned to Dublin the same evening, bringing home members of the 117th Battalion. A second rotation on the 31st of May will complete the changeover of the troops currently on duty in the Lebanon.
This week we published an article on the Flying in Ireland website about the listening squawk and how to use it. General aviation pilots flying aircraft with a transponder are encouraged to use it. Rather than squawking 7000, the IA has provided 2 transponder codes so that the pilot can show ATC that they are listening to the Shannon information frequency on 127.5 or the Dublin flight information frequency on 118.5. Full details are in the article and also in the AIP in En route section 1.6.
This week, Ryanair has brought forward the opening of their new base in Zagreb, Croatia by 2 months due to strong demand. The airline announced the base's opening on the 1st of April with an expected starting date in September with 2 based aircraft and up to 60 new jobs. Ryanair is launching 14 new routes out of Zagreb and the airline has indicated that it plans to operate as many as 40 by the end of 2022. The base will be operated by Ryanair Group subsidiary Lauda Europe using 2 A320s. Ryanair also announced an additional 175,000 seats on 75 new flights to routes serving Porto, Lisbon and Faro, following the easing of UK travel restrictions. Portugal will be added to England's Green List from the 17th of May and to Scotland's Green List from the 24th of May. As a result, the airline has announced the reopening of their routes from Glasgow Prestwick and Aberdeen to Faro, along with routes from Edinburgh to Lisbon and Porto with extra services to Faro.
Ireland West Airport Knock had another unusual arrival on Thursday with the final flight of a former Qatar Airways Airbus A330 Alpha 7 Alpha Echo Alpha. The aircraft was built in 2004 and spent its entire working life with Qatar Airways. It will join a growing number of aircraft that will receive end-of-life treatment by Air Trade Aviation. The aircraft was flown directly from Doha in just over 7 hours, arriving shortly after 9:30 a.m. It already had the airline markings removed prior to its arrival. Airtrade has been working at Knock for several years and a number of former Iberia and Indigo Airlines Airbus A320s have arrived to be parted out recently. The most notable arrival for this work was the Air France Airbus A380 which arrived in February 2020. This airframe was completely dismantled and all evidence of the aircraft had been removed by February of this year. There were reports that more Airbus A380s were to be dismantled at Knock, but no more have yet arrived. Airtrade is planning to build a new hangar at Knock capable of holding an aircraft up to the size of an Airbus A380.
In collaboration with Dublin Aerospace, Finglas Training Centre seek to identify suitable candidates for its aircraft maintenance technician traineeship due to commence this May, and for its aircraft landing gear technician traineeship due to begin in June. Candidates for the aircraft maintenance technician traineeship will qualify for an EASA Part 66 Cat A licence as an aircraft maintenance technician. The location for the training will be divided between the Finglas Training Centre campus and Dublin Aerospace Base Management Facility at Dublin Airport. The aircraft landing gear technician traineeship will be divided between the Finglas Training Centre campus and Dublin Aerospace's new landing gear facility in Ashbourne, County Meath. More details are available from the Dublin Aerospace website at dublin.aero.
Dublin-based Hibernian Airlines has signed an agreement with Europair for the sale of charter flights in Europe. Hibernian will base 2 of its 3 Bombardier CRJ 1000 aircraft at Maastricht in the Netherlands, so they are centrally located for charter work. The commercial agreement by Europair continues the path of joint work that it has had with Air Nostrum for the past 11 years. Hibernian Airlines was set up in April 2017 with Air Nostrum as leading partners in a consortium of a privately held carrier independent of Air Nostrum operations. They received their first aircraft in November 2018, the second following a year later, and the third joined in April 2021. All 3 previously operated for Air Nostrum. Hibernian Airlines has its head office in the Omni Park complex in Santry. Europair is an air charter broker specialising in the contracting and management of charter flights worldwide and have been in operation since 1994.
Dublin-based Ergo Capital has completed a sale and leaseback deal with Singapore Airlines for 2 aircraft. The aircraft involved are an Airbus A350-900 and a Boeing 787-10, both of which were delivered new to the airline in 2019. The deal by Singapore Airlines is part of a $1.5 billion funding drive to ensure the airline's financial stability in the post-COVID era.
And staying with leasing news, Dublin-based CDB Aviation has agreed to lease a number of Airbus A330s to SmartLynx Airlines Malta. These former passenger aircraft will be delivered with no passenger interior and will be used for cargo flights. SmartLynx currently operates the Airbus A320 and A321 types and will be joined by the Airbus A330 for plans to enter the long-haul market. The aircraft are expected to start joining the fleet in May and June. The A330 will carry cargo for existing and future clients to and from Asia, the USA and Europe, with a volume capacity of 260 cubic metres and a maximum cargo weight of 50,000 kilos.
Thanks, Mark. You'll find these stories and more on flyinginireland.com. And a reminder that you can listen to our long final editions this week. We spent some time with the Irish Community Air Ambulance, who are committed to providing safe, effective and timely emergency medical care to those seriously ill or injured in Ireland. We speak with Micheál Sheridan, CEO, pilot Donna Veerling and advanced paramedic Paul Traynor as they explain the operation of this vital service. You'll find that episode wherever you get your podcasts and on our site squawk7000.ie. Thanks for listening.